1950s, there were no African Americans. In the 1960s, there were no African Americans. Excuse me for that. Sorry, lost you for a second. In the 1950s, there were no African Americans. In the 1960s, there were no African Americans. In the 1970s, there were no African Americans. 1980s, there were no African Americans. What I'm about to show you today is some simple stuff that we all better be on the lookout on, because this is how they attempt to erase you from the planet. They don't do it overnight or in a 30-minute sitcom or nothing like that. They span it out over years. So I'm going to share something with you today that's not that long ago, was done less 20 years ago. And these are the things we're going to have to focus on in history if we're going to fix the communities in which we live. Out of Control is a documentary that was put out by ABC in 2006. And as you know, in media, like stuff like the Tyler Perry stuff, the BET stuff, that's geared for a so-called Black audience. It's not geared for a Mexican American audience. It's not geared for Asians. It's geared for certain demographics. Now, sometimes they put things on that is not geared for us. It's just to show them how we act, how we behave, how their experiments are going. And if you watch this video called Out of Control, it'll blow your mind. This is what they're showing to them, how we have trained these people, these blacks, these niggas, these African Americans to just be totally out of control. And if you watch the video, you will see that they pretty much got to their point. So that's why I hope this time when they doing this fake pandemic, that everybody is looking within themselves and asking, why am I here? And it's definitely not to engage in behavior that is lower based. In the documentary, they list 5 things. It says 5 reasons why the epidemic is out of control. They're talking about AIDS at this time. And if you just look at, they do interviews of people who stuck on crack, on the needle and all of that. They interview those people. And if you just, they're just dead people. And this is 15 years ago. This ain't that long ago. The same pandemic they was trying to do back then, they're trying to do now. And the same people are orchestrating it. So that's why you have to look at that. And when you see this dude in there, everybody is going to say, God damn. So the name of the video is Out of Control. Out of Control. It was done in 2006 on ABC. So I guess if you just put that in the search engine, you'll find it. But I want to give you the 5 reasons that they say the African American or the Negro or whatever the terms they were using at that time, blacks. Here's the 5 reasons they give. And check this out. And this is how we are trained. See, this is not geared for us. This is not geared for us. We're geared to the laugh and then slapstick. This is them giving a report to themselves, because this is the kind of stuff we're really not interested in. And if a production crew come in and say, hey, we'll give your church a $10,000 donation if you go ahead and act for us on this day, the pastor will do it. And many of you know that's how it's done. Probably less than that. But these 5 reasons they give is the same reasons that today they are making it that, oh, this whole coronavirus thing. You always notice how we're always put in the middle of everybody's bullshit. We're always putting everybody's stuff. We're the most likely. They just tell us stuff. And if we believe it, which normally we do, and that's how they program us. When you see this video out of control, you're going to see. If you don't see that, if you don't see what they're doing today, because all they doing is repeating themselves. They have no nothing. They have no creativity, no ingenuity. You have all that. But it seems like we tired of giving it to them. I sure hope so. So I want to share these 5 reasons diseased blacks are out of control, and start adding up what they're saying today, how they're talking about the Africans are being booted out and blah, what. You know, this is so many blacks are dying and blah, blah, blah. Though these are not true, these are the ideologies they're putting out there, not for you. You don't, you know they bullshit. This is the ideology they put out for themselves on how to deal with you. Have no remorse. Because when you say these words and terms, the first thing that pops to anybody's mind is you. These are code words they use. Many people have talked about it before. They're code words. So the 5 reasons diseased blacks, in quotations, because you're not black. I tell any black person to prove they're not red, and I'll give them $1. We playing too much. 5 reasons diseased black are out of control. The number 1 is ignorance. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. So-called African Americans, blacks, pride themselves on not knowing shit. They pride themselves. And nothing that they push is reality. It's all somebody else's ideas. That's what keeps the African American in place. He doesn't have his own ideas. He doesn't go out into nature and into the earth and into the world and create something for themselves. They do what other people tell them to do, right or wrong. That's right. So know that when you're talking to these people. That's one of the things that are missing. What the indigenous people here do in America is unique and different from the world. If you get them to start doing what everybody else do, there's going to be a void. Do we we think that we can be and look and do and wear and buy what everybody. Sorry. And our creativity is just sucked up by everybody else and used for their benefit so they can copy it. We have disconnected ourselves from the land. We have disconnected ourselves from the land and arrogant about it. So what, nigga, I can do what I want to do. Ignorance is one of the reasons that diseased blacks are out of control. Number 2, and this is something that we have to talk about, government failure. Now they're talking about the United States government, but I think it's the governance of themselves. We don't govern ourselves right. We don't take our economics and use it for ourselves. We give our economics to other people and tell them they can do whatever they want to do with it. That's why everybody runs over here. And that's why they tell you you're only 2% of the population when you're really more than that. Where do you go in the world where indigenous people are the minority of people? Nowhere. Why do you think it's like that here? And when you ask the Negro this, they never have an answer. That's how you cut them off. Cut them off from the land. Put them in the cities. Put them on concrete. Don't let the vibes flow through. Take them off the land. Make them always cover their head. Make them always cover their head. Baseball caps, wigs, whatever. Put something synthetic on their head so the vibes won't flow through. The Negro has it. I don't know. No, we don't get it. We don't get it. We refuse to. Number three. So government failure, that this is still on number two. Government failure is not the government. It's to govern yourselves. You don't take all your money and give it to other people. You keep it for yourselves. You conserve what you be conservative with what you have. You don't give it to everybody. They don't give you theirs. They don't eat at your restaurant. I know Negroes that are proud to go into a foreign restaurant and take pictures. Are you serious? This is where we are. These are 50, 60-year-old people. This is what we do. We don't make our own clothes. We don't want to talk about that though. We don't produce our own cotton like we used to. We don't want to talk about that though. You got 2 million dudes wasting away in jail, and we could be any crop with our stamp of approval on it. Everybody would want it. We don't. My boss said we don't think like that. This is where we today. Government means govern yourselves. Trade with each other. Do you know that if we traded with each other, that would clear up all our economic problems? Imagine that. If we didn't trade with nobody but ourselves, that would solve all our economic problems. Everybody else does it. Everybody else does it. Why don't you? We don't want to talk about that. So this is the place where you come where the shit that you don't talk about out there in reality, in the real world where y'all at. Oh, this is another thing. Check this out, y'all. So in this pandemic, check out the stocks of other companies that are profiting during this pandemic. Check out Netflix stock. Check out Netflix stock. It's going to blow you away. And guess who's making that rise? Us, because we always want to watch some old bullshit on TV. Number three, one of the reasons why diseased blacks are out of control. Now, this isn't me. I'm not putting this out. I'm just reading what they're reporting to each other about you. Please don't be mad at me. I know, I know when, this is what they're telling each other. And so after I read these to you, now this was in 2004. Now this has been going along since they've been here. They're trying to eradicate you. A lot of times, the so-called indigenous races, you're really under protection. You really are. Because people want the land that you're on, even if it's in the ghetto. Once you're on it, they want it. And we haven't realized that yet. We haven't realized that. We haven't taken, we have no affinity to the land, that which produced us. We act like that shit never even happened. And arrogant about it. Arrogant. So government failure is us not governing ourselves. I mean, damn, we can't educate ourselves. We can't come up with our own language. We can't invent our own cars. Huh? That's where we are. The third reason why disease black are no longer no, why disease blacks are out of control. This is the third reason they say. Their patterns of sexual behavior. Now, this documentary, they're talking about AIDS back in those days, but now they're talking coronavirus. I'll tie the two together a little later. If I don't, remind me, okay? Patterns of sexual behavior. Now, in social media, you can see, you ever have, those of you who know what I mean, you ever have that person, you spend the weekend with them or whatever, and you wake up that, one morning and you look over and they're looking at you and they no makeup on, hair is all over the place, no makeup on, just looking at you, and you guys make this connection. Those are the instances where us being unborn, we're not born yet, those are the influences that we have. And we're not even in the physical form. So that's why everybody is special. Everybody. While you were being created, your mother and father, they were in total agreement with each other while you were being created. That's why this movement of you can do whatever you want to sexually is destroying the race, because you can't. We have to create ourselves. And we have to be beneficial to ourselves. Why be beneficial to the rest of the world and they're not beneficial to you? Huh? The third reason is patterns of sexual behavior. Now, you've been watching in social media the past 10 years, since 2000, before this documentary came out, Oprah Winfrey came out with something called On the Down Low a little while ago. Fast forward to today. See how these people plan for you? They put what they're going to do to you in your face, and you follow it. Patterns of sexual behavior. Huh? How do we fall off like that? Just the dumber we get is supposed to be the best. What is that? Eating ass? Really? So, so the trash that comes out of remember, and the food isn't even real. The food is this old synthetic shit. Bullshit. All of it. So a motherfucker shitting that out, you lick his asshole. That's what we doing now, huh? For real, cuz? It really? Did this where we at? As my mother would say, behind the prep or whatever at. This is what we do now. So this is what they're saying that you would be doing. These are the plans that these people have for you because they want, they first of all, they want your soul energy. Check out the definition of remember, these people say it American, other people say it American. Find out what that term means. No, you find out. I can't tell you everything. Some things you have to find out for yourself. You don't know how big of a piece of a puzzle is missing with you out of the picture. And they can, and everything that's supposed to come to you, the world usurps because they have been so brutal to their lands. They have tore up their lands. Now they're coming to tear up yours, and you cool with it. You don't care. You will run away from your land. You will claim they land that's desolate and tore down. You will claim that that's yours. And if we call you dumb, we're bad. Really? This is where we are. So like again, like I say, I hope we're taking this time to really think about what we're doing because you see these people. And when you watch that video, just check out the same wordplay. They're using the same thing, and the same people are in control of it. This is what I'm saying. We can't be sleeping. We have to pass information on, and because trust me, I visit a lot of people, and the so that's why you have to keep away from people. Let people bask in their own juices. Okay, because as a human being, as a person upon this planet, basics, basics, you have to do, and you have to know. You have to know who you are. You have to know what purpose you serve on this planet. Why are you here? You have to know that. Nobody's gonna tell you. You ain't gonna learn that in school. You have to know that. And you better find out. And you're here right now and you don't care why you're here. The patterns of sexual behavior. Come on, y'all. I've seen people. I mean, I get a lot of hate. People send me stuff because they know they know you're the indigenous people, and I get mail all the time saying, "Oh, nigga, you dumb. They'll never find out. They dumb, stupid." She's seeing pictures and stuff that black folks do and the stuff that we participate in and websites and blah 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 blah. Yeah. What we doing? See, for money, this is what we'll gladly degrade ourselves for money. Matter of fact, you'll look at a person cross-eyed if he don't degrade himself or herself for money. This is what people want to do. Take your sexual energy. That's a lot of energy. They can usurp that and use that for other things. That's the whole thing. That's the whole purpose of the wig. The wig is a bow down symbol. It's a bow down symbol. I will not be myself, no matter what. That's what the baseball caps do. You ever notice brothers wear baseball caps? They never wear them for baseball teams that they created. It's always advertising somebody else's and proud of it. Never had nothing. I mean, you have a few brothers that do it, that put it out. You have a few, and hats goes off to them. And if they create it, but if they go get it made, no, you have to create everything that you do. And see how much you're like then. The only thing that the indigenous people here are for the foreigners coming in is monetary. They're sucking the blood. And the first thing in the reasons of why the Negro is so damaged, the first thing they say is ignorance. We cool with it. These people kill your children and you'll go to their SWAT beats right after they do it. So those people, I would say, be on the lookout for. The fourth reason why diseased blacks are out of control is that gay black shit that's going on. Simple stuff. These are simple ideologies that we should know what is harming us. What does gay black? What is that? What does that produce? That's all you have to ask yourself. Here you are produced by a phenomenon that now you don't even participate in anymore. That's cutting yourself off. And we don't even see it. And maybe a lot of times that's what it's for. Brothers don't want to do it because they don't want to bring nothing else forward in this world. I've heard that, and that's what I mean. These are the things we devolve into, and these are the things that we pass on to our children. These are the things we do to our children instead of coming up with something that would be okay to everybody. So that gay black thing is simple. It doesn't produce anything. It's a waste of time. I mean, really, what does it produce? I mean, at least you can produce a child and teach that child and have that child something. That's why all the women had a whole bunch of babies back in the day. You ever ask yourself why all these women had all these babies? One word: hands. See, you were working the land, you were building on the land, so you needed hands. Simple. We look and laugh at that. We turn our back on it. We're put into situations where you can't even do that anymore. And we follow it. So this is how they cut down on your population. Many of your grandmothers had 10 or more children. And they were having all those children because they needed the hands to work the land. Because that's what the people did. That's how you built all those mounds. That's how you build all these nice cities. You had hands to help. You had hands to help. Now you don't have them. And how did they do that? They took you off the land, bought you into their cities where you didn't have any land left. That's where they got you. See, you were living out in the towns, and when you gave them their charter to go ahead and have a business here, you wanted to be in their businesses. You wanted to come and drink their whiskey. You wanted to come fuck their women in their whorehouses. That's how they got it. You wanted to work for them. You wanted to help them build their empire. That's how that went down. That's how that went down. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of times we can't be mad about what's happening because we full participants into it, just like we are today. And since we're full participants in it, when they're done with what they're going to use you for, what do you think is going to happen? This is just a question that I'm asking because I know what's going to happen. So that's how I would say, all you people who you have a whole you have a whole land mass to do something different on the planet because how they do it is boring, it's shitty, and only a couple of people have money and can enjoy themselves. Sorry, the gardener's cutting the grass, so it might be a little noisy for a minute. Okay, so the fifth reason, like disease, this is what they say. This is what they say to each other. This is how they talk when they talk about you. When you go to these Bilderberger meetings and these meetings where you with these people with money have and you're not there, how do you think they talk about you? What do they think they see you as when you're walking around with your pants hanging down? Are you all loud and crazy? What do you think they say? What do you think they say? What do you think other people say on this social media? And you see how we roll. See, we think we're the only ones who's watching what we do. No, everybody. That's how they can manipulate us. They know what we gonna do. They know we gonna get emotional. They know we ain't gonna think. Just blow up. What do? They take that energy. They let you expel that energy. They take it and they eat it. That's how much of it comes out of you. Get them mad. Get them angry. Make them use their energy. The more, and the next step is the adrenochrome. Do you realize what you can do with the energy that you have? I mean, seriously, really? 10 of you will make him $1 billion. You can't turn that in on yourself. I never understood that. The last reason why diseased blacks are not in control, this is their report to themselves, is failure to lead. And this is one of the places where we have to discuss because the leadership there, we can't do the leadership how it's always done because it won't work because that's been infiltrated. You can't do the same things over and over and over again that don't work. That's why many of these institutions and all this bullshit that's coming up in the community is false because it's been done before. This is why you have to listen to words. You can't have a person tell you they're going to open up a Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass school when those are two opposing views. They're two opposing views. How don't you know that? How don't we know? How can anybody come tell us anything and we fall for it? We don't even think about it. So the failure to lead is not, you're not going to have leaders. You're going to have to, and that's why this, I don't know what it's called. You're by yourself now and you're sitting and thinking about, what's your next move? Why are you here? Why are you on this planet? What did your people do? That's why I say find your family. Just go research your family. Who are the interesting people in your family? You can go back 100, 200 years. You don't have to go back all the time. Just go back like a leaf on a tree. Take take the main branch down, or do it like a river and break off into the people that interest you. Simple. Find out where they were from. Find out what they ate. Find out what they lived. They breathed. What was the main crop there? What was the main medicines there? These are things that can help you, your whole family. This is why they cut you off. This is why they tell you you're African. This is why they tell you you Christian. This is why they tell you you're Muslim. Because you won't use your stuff. You'll go buy their stuff. Amen. And see, and they'll come take your resources. All these resources we have here in the Southeast, and we're not using them and producing them and making products for ourselves and selling them to the rest of the world with our currency. We're not, huh? We're not even thinking of that. So hopefully this reaches the people who are in the 2030 range, 30, yeah, 30, 35, 40 range. Because all these things that you see, like this coronavirus and all this is tied together. They make the population look at you at a certain way. And I say we can change that now, and all we got to do is pull our support from them. Start sort of supporting each other. That would change the game. But I wouldn't suggest that right now, because many of what we do, many of us still on that bullshit. You know, you got brothers out there still trying to hustle. I mean, damn, really? You got everybody out there trying to fuck us up, and now you gonna come and do it? Really? That's where the African American is. So I hope check out that video, Out of Control. And you're gonna see a cat in there that you see today. And you're gonna see that he developed that whole AIDS thing. And he's the same dude running this thing, what you see with this coronavirus. So check it out. Out of Control, done in 2006. It's going to blow you away. Hey, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.